Now, one man who is at the Labour conference, used to be a legend round here. It's Damien in Brighton. Go ahead, Damien.
Good evening, George.
Evening. How's it going?
Very well, thank you. Very well indeed. George, I'd like to discuss Keir Starmer's position, please.
Yeah.
I believe it's impossible for Labour to win power while Keir Starmer is the leader of the party. And the reason I believe that is can be summed up in one sentence, really. Starmer tried to stop Brexit.
Yeah.
He tried to cheat 17.4 million Leave voters out of their referendum victory, which was a gross offence against British democracy. He then betrayed the 16.1 million voters who voted to remain by voting for the Tories' terrible Brexit deal. Then if we dig into the numbers a little bit deeper, 70%, bearing in mind his strategy is to shift Labour right to appease to soft Tories, 70% of Tory constituencies voted Leave. It's just not plausible, George, that to suggest that they would vote, those constituencies would vote for the person who tried to stop Brexit and whose support base is made up largely of Remainers who want to rejoin the EU.
Good point. I agree with all of that, Damien, but here are some facts.
Yes.
You tried very hard, admirably hard. I didn't have a dog in the fight, but you tried very hard to stop the General Secretary being confirmed. He's been confirmed. You tried very hard to stop these new leadership election rules, which just in the last hour we've learned have passed. So the game's over, isn't it?
Okay, so yes, David Evans has been appointed. It's worth noting that that was the first card vote ever held to ratify the appointment of a Labour General Secretary in the history of the party. And David Evans won 2% of the party did not want him to be appointed. So it's hardly a ringing endorsement, George. And also
makes no difference. He's in position.
True. But it is worth noting also that the Labour conference this year at Brighton has been the most gerrymandered conference, also the most gerrymandered
also
conference
true.
in the history of the party.
Also true, but that also makes no difference.
No, true. But I'm talking about electability, George.
Yeah, no, I agree. So let's summarise the position. Keir Starmer is a disaster but cannot be removed. You would now need double the number of MPs to nominate someone else in his stead, which makes it virtually impossible. His General Secretary is in power. The purge will now be completed. So what does all that add up to? A walking disaster electorally is now impregnable in his position as leader.